Control systems integration, Leet Racing, Clive Wilmot Racing, and Adlam Auto bring you the Lotus Challenge Support Race at the SAES South African Endurance Series Kyalami International 9-hour endurance race, and we are absolutely thrilled to be here.
Andre, you're working hard here. Did we ever stop it? What's going on with your car?
Gearbox.
And immediately before we've even got going, the spanners are out and the drivers are hard at work on their cars. With all the racing action going on at Kyalami, even the drivers will be forgiven for getting distracted and checking out everything else that's going on. There really was a huge amount to take in and experience. And with an absolute scorcher of a weekend, we were extremely privileged to have the Automobile Association of South Africa on board to provide the drivers with much needed refreshments, keeping us cool, keeping us hydrated, and providing us with incredible mechanical services throughout the weekend. And of course, let's not forget our stalwart sponsors, Leet Racing, your go-to guys for getting into Lotus Challenge Racing Class L. We assist with all rentals for Class L training, walking you through all the steps, guiding you on your racing journey and making it exciting, not daunting. Get hold of us at info@leetracing.co.za and start your racing career today. And Adlam Auto, your one-stop Class B preparation specialists where service excellence is guaranteed. Control systems integration. At CSI, we believe technology and systems should work for you and not hold you back. 2024 marks 30 years of four-wheeled circuit racing. The experience gained over this period provides top-level support for our customers, including finding new parts, spares for the most popular brands, as well as individual throttle bodies. Be sure to check out our webpage at www.racekit.co.za. But now let's take a quick look at the qualifying results for Kyalami.
You have to interview me with this fucking thing on my head.
Oh, what an experience. First time out in Mackie's car, and yeah, it's unbelievable the ability that these cars have got. Yeah, the track's hot out there. Towards the end, in the end of your session, you start picking up a bit of understeer, but hey, what an experience, and thanks again to the Adlam Auto team, and all glory to God. Thanks.
Before we go racing, there was an opportunity to get involved with a massive photo shoot with all of the cars involved in the Kyalami 9-hour, part of the SAES Endurance Series. Fantastic to be on show with everybody on such a wonderful day. You can see it is absolutely scorching. Leet Racing in full show here, with a lot of the Class L cars, of course, being sponsored and provided by Leet Racing. Meanwhile, back in the pits, though, there's a lot of work going on for some of these drivers in order to get themselves ready for Friday afternoon's first race of two for the weekend. A lot of work going on, a lot of preparation. We see the guys gearing up, getting ready. Adrenaline is starting to pump, and we look to line up for race one. So here we are, Friday afternoon, race one, lights out, and away we go. On board with David Jeremy in Class B. As you can see, the guys absolutely flying down, jumping back into Class L. Our pole sitter Nick Hodgson losing out 2 positions already off the start-finish line. And it is absolutely go, go, go. These guys are 3 wide going into turn 1 before we even reach turn 2. Grant Fridge Findlay on board with him now in Class B mid-pack, looking to try and challenge Clive Wilmot around the outside of turn 1. Lovely little move there from Fridge. However, Clive is absolutely well aware of what Fridge is trying to do, and slides up the inside, making that position count. Back on board with Jean de Toy, L77, and also looking to make up lots of places off the start. We've got Nick Hodgson now, having got past Andre Duplessis. He's now got Wesley Maxwell to contend with. Thomas Faulkner returning in Class B. Fantastic to see Thomas back with us, or looking to challenge one of our Durban visitors as well, going absolutely side by side with them through looks to be Sunset. Nick Hodgson now popping out from the slipstream of Wesley Maxwell, saying, "Thank you, bud. I will try and have that position. Watch me. I'm going to go around the outside. I'm going to make it stick, and it looks like he's going to do it as well. Graham Hepburn, another Hepburn. You cannot get rid of the Hepburns in Class L at the moment. Graham sliding up the inside of Wesley Maxwell as well, and into second position. Now with David Jeremy, the top of the hill, looking to make some headway in Class B. Not used to seeing David down in fourth, but that is where he finds himself right now. Thomas Faulkner all over the back of Fridge Findlay. We are used to seeing Thomas right at the sharp end of Class B. However, having been out of Lotus Challenge for a little bit and having a few mechanical maladies during the weekend so far, I think he finds himself a little bit further down than he is used to. David Jeremy now looking like he's got past what I believe is Andre Human. Jean de Toy now in Class L, still absolutely in the thick of it, mixing it up with the Class Bs as well, part of Adlam Auto Racing, and looking to try and pick up a slipstream, but the Adlam Auto car not letting him get that slipstream from Andre Duplessis. That Adlam Auto car must have an issue. It has a lot more power, that's for certain. So certainly somebody managing an issue there. Graham Hepburn now trying to take the lead from Nick Hodgson. Nick getting it wrong at the bottom of the mine shaft, going very, very wide, and that has unfortunately put him back into second position, with Wesley Maxwell still right on their heels, nip tuck all the way here in Class L. Or Jeff Gable getting very, very wide, going into the last corner now, taking a narrow line, forced to do so. JP Norkia all over the back of Jeff Gable, looking to pick up that slipstream as they go down the long straight. Tom Faulkner now making a move on Clive Wilmot, still on that recovery drive. Clive, though, wily old fox, absolutely going to be coming back at Tom, although it looks like Clive has got a problem now. Not sure what's happening there. We'll have to cut back to that late. Ben Knight now, our Neisner driver, all over the back of Taster Cock and trying to show exactly what so many years of racing experience does for you. Back with Nick Hodgson now in second. It looks like Graham Hepburn ahead of him, and a Class B, I believe that to be Tinus Bortis, giving a wonderful slipstream to Sean Hepburn. Back now with David Jeremy, and Andre Human just slotted in behind him. I believe this is third and fourth in Class B at the moment. We've got Jeff Gable just ahead with JP Norkia. Look how close the racing is at Kyalami today in Class B. Jeff Gable getting an absolute rocket ship of a launch out of the corner and slotting into first position once more. Graham Hepburn in second now. Looks like Nick Hodgson has just managed to squirrel his way past, and now looking to defend tightly from the man who has so much racing experience. David Jeremy is now all the way up. He was in fourth position. He's worked his way up into first, but Jeff Gable having absolutely none of it, taking that narrow line and making it work for him. David unable to tuck into the slipstream just yet. He's going to have JP and Andre all over the back of him. Back now with Graham Hepburn. The action in Lotus Challenge is absolutely electric no matter where you look. We've got Tennis Bortis ahead, and once again Nick is able to defend that first position on this fast and frantic lap. Nick trying to jump into that slipstream, but also having to defend from Sean Hepburn. Oh, and we've got Taster Cock spinning at the S's. Oh, and that's a big impact. The bonnet looks to have flown off and landed on top of the roll cage. That is really, really unfortunate. We see now from other drivers' point of view, from Ben Knight's behind, the spin from Tace just unable to gather it up, and that is super, super unfortunate. Very likely, I believe, to bring out a safety car, but for the moment, Graham Hepburn making a move on Nick Hodgson and trying to challenge Tinus Bortis in Class B at the same time. Wow! Just slots in behind Jean de Toy now, trying to make a similar move on Andre Duplessis up the inside at the bottom of the mine shaft. You can see Wesley Maxwell there also trying to get in on the action. David Jeremy now with Andre Human and JP Norkia now back into fourth position. This top four in Class B is absolutely nose to tail. You could barely put a tow rope between all of them. Oh, and that's a bump. That's a looks like David Jeremy has bumped into the back of Jeff Gable. I wonder if Jeff has spotted, and that's Clive Wilmot pulling off. We did speculate that Clive may have had a bit of an issue. Tinus Bortis also pulling off. I think drivers may have seen some safety car flags looks like it. You can see as the drivers come along across the start-finish line, Nick Hodgson putting out his hand and waving to the other drivers. That's, of course, a big advantage here in Lotus Challenges. You can signal to your fellow competitors. Ben Knight's coming now once again past the unfortunate incident, and that is Tace out of the race. So now all these drivers are going to be collecting their thoughts, building a strategy, and trying to figure out how are they going to do this. How are they going to make a move? And we're back racing. David, Jeremy immediately going to the inside and looking to make a move down in Class L. We're on board now with Jean de Toy, looking to try and make a move early on Tinus Lotus in Class B ahead. Got Wesley Maxwell in Class L ahead of that. And on board now with Fridge Finley. You can see Thomas Faulkner running very wide out of the last corner, but look at the rocket ship of the start. Oh no, looks like Fridge has a problem. Hand up, Fridge has a problem, and all these drivers are now absolutely streaming past. That is really, really unfortunate for Fridge, who has had a fantastic race up until this point. Tinus Lotus coming storming past Wesley Maxwell now down the straight, and the Graham Hepburn Nick Hodgson battle continues once more. This time it looks like Nick Hodgson's got the inside line for turn 2 and is looking to make that position stick once and for all, but Graham Hepburn is all over the back of Nick Hodgson, really monstering that back bumper on the Class L car. Currently, of course, our 2024 champion. Looks like Nick is going to have a huge amount of pressure next year, but look at this for pressure. 3 wide, Jean de Toy, Andre Duplessis, and as we watch from Fridge Finley's point of view, you can see the Class L guys just absolutely streaming past. Everybody knows that the slightest opportunity has to be taken, otherwise you will fall out of that slipstream and it will be disastrous for your race. Certainly the Class L guys are always operating within a slipstream. Nick Hodgson now trying to challenge our Durban resident and just getting past. Looks to have made a nice little move there. Speaking of nice little moves, Jean de Toy is all over the back of Andre Duplessis. Andre with a wealth of experience. So does Jean, both drivers part of our Lotus Challenge 100 Club, and really showing what experience can do in racing and how tight and how close you can race. Speaking of the 4 guys in Class B at the top of the chime sheets right now are just absolutely once again nose to tail, as we can see. Once again back on board with Fridge Finley. Somehow, even though he's had a problem, he is still going. Looks like he's battling now with Tim Venn, our rookie and most improved driver of the year in Lotus Challenge. Fridge now down the mine shaft and making use of that extra power he has over Tim. David Jeremy now really defending hard against Andre Human. You can see from the spectators' point of view what a fantastic show Lotus Challenge is putting on for these spectators at Kyalami. Nick Hodgson and Graham Hepburn still absolutely nothing to separate these 2 drivers as they go round Sunset and into the next left-hander. Nick Hodgson braking hard and outbraking Graham Hepburn, but is Graham going to get the switchback? Nick seems to be wise to that move and shuts Graham off as they go into their S's. Just a little bit of dab of brakes. Oh, Graham getting quite squirrely. Top of the hill now. And looking to use that Class B slipstream. Graham Hepburn pulls in immediately and gets a lovely run down the mine shaft. Where's the move going to happen? We will have to wait and see. Is he going to go up the inside? Looks like he's very brave on the brakes. Is Graham Hepburn turning in? Oh, Nick Hodgson's run wide yet again. He's done that a number of times now at the bottom of the mine shaft. Really a weak spot. I wonder if Graham is going to be trying to line something up. Speaking of, Jean de Toy once more lining up Andre Duplessis and takes the narrow line at the bottom of the mine shaft and makes that position stick. Jean has finally got past Andre. Will he be able to make that stick though? As we've seen, there are so many opportunities for Lotus Challenge to pass. Oh, it looks like David has missed a gear or something has gone wrong, but Andre Human absolutely steams past David Jeremy and latches onto the back of Jeff Gable. Although it looks like braking very early is Andre Human or Jeff is possibly Titanic on the brakes into turn 2. I'm not sure which either way. Jeff makes away with, or certainly with provisional first as we stand. These guys are still absolutely super close. Barry Dunford is now all over the back of Andre Duplessis. Of course, Andre having just been passed by Jean de Toy. Barry up the inside. You can see Jean locking up there into turn 2. Barry taking a narrower line, forcing Andre wide. Will Andre be able to come back through 3, 4 and 5? They are absolutely side by side. This is why we love Lotus Challenge Racing. It is so close. No matter where you look, there is a battle. And if you are thinking of joining, you absolutely should, because you will find a battle on track. No matter your experience or skill level, there is going to be a battle for you to be had. And look at this, still side by side. This must be 6 corners now that these two drivers have been absolutely knocking wheels together to try and find a way past. Barry has to slot in behind Andre though, and once again, look at this battle in Class B. This is phenomenal racing the whole way. It's going to be like this the whole race. I can absolutely guarantee you that. David Jeremy providing us a wonderful view of this action. Andre Human trying to squeeze Jeff Gable. Jeff having none of it. Jeff taking a defensive line at the top of the hill, and looks like David Jeremy lost out a little bit, possibly spending too much time watching watching the battle from the front too. As we see Tim Vane going past someone on the side of the track in the same place that Taster Cock went off. I wonder if that might have been Ben Knights. I'm not sure. He flashed past so quickly it was difficult to tell. You can see the sun starting to come down a little bit and getting into these drivers' eyes, and that looks like Charles Marais has gone straight past Tim. A great move from Charles, and now these two once again resume battle. Tennis Burtis now on board with him. You can see the Class L's are absolutely all over that. Oh, is that Wesley? That's Wesley Maxwell. Something has happened with Wesley Maxwell. We saw in practice and in qualifying that he was struggling with some fuel pickup issues or something like that, where his engine would just cut out and then miraculously come back. I wonder if those gremlins have once again surfaced. But now with David Jeremy across the line and pulling over to the side. I'm not sure what's going on there, but he's now slotted back onto the racing line. I wonder if he's trying to avoid some oil or something, but that's a very strange... Oh, he must... I tell you what, he's defending. He's probably defending from behind. That's JP Nokia. That's exactly what will have happened. And once again, on board with Tim Venn, trying to attack Charles Marais into turn 2. That's a brave move. Charles running wide, and Tim making sure he does not let that opportunity go a-begging, and Tim is up a position, having had Charles overtake him on the previous lap. He's got one back on Charles. Andre Human now in second position currently, with Jeff Gable, who has led this whole race, but he certainly hasn't had the track all to himself. Andre Human going side by side, trying to get that switch back. It doesn't quite work on Jeff. Wily old fox that he is, getting quite squirrely out, coming out the corner as well as we go down the mine shaft. That could be disastrous if Andre has got a fantastic drive out of the corner. Looks like not quite, and even in the slipstream is unable to effect a maneuver down to the bottom of the mine shaft. Well, these drivers keeping it quite neat and tidy, but you can see a little bit. David Jeremy does have a problem. We were right. David Jeremy does have a problem, and he has pulled over, just trying to limp back to the pits. It looks like, I wonder if that engine is let go or what's going on there. But David is out of the battle. It now means that we have a two-way fight for the win of this race and for the lead currently. And we've got Andre Human all over the back of Jeff Gable. I do believe David Jeremy will be classified in this race. He's done enough of it, but that is not the result David is going to have wanted. The racing has been so fast and furious that the camera from Andre Human's car has gone all squonk, and Tennis Burtis now looking to go past, I think that's Graham Hepburn, using that extra power on Class B, just absolutely flying past through Sunset. Through Sunset we go. Tennis really finding his stride towards the end of this race, coming into his own. but Graham Hepburn having absolutely none of it, and going up the inside immediately afterwards. But once again, Tennis coming back and attacking, not going to let that sit or let that slide. That is for sure. Once again, back towards the back end of Class L, and this battle between Charles and Tim is absolutely titanic. These two drivers are giving it everything to try and make the move stick. Looks like Tim is once again slightly ahead. Ben Knight's now. Oh, we speculated it wasn't. Okay, I speculated it was Ben on the side of the track. Apologies, Ben, it wasn't you. It looks like one of the Adlam autos. But that is the end of race 1. And we have Jeff Gable coming home in first, followed by Andre Human and JP Nokia. In Class L, we have Nick Hodgson taking top honours, followed by Graham Hepburn and John DeToy. Oh, and now while the drivers try and cool down, let's hear from a few of them as to how their race went.
Is it hot, Jeff?
It's warm. It's very warm out there.
What does it mean to be at Kyalami?
Kyalami is a very special place, right? All racetracks should take a little bit of Kyalami and incorporate them.
Jason? Tell us what your favorite part of Kyalami is.
The long straights.
Long straights?
Yeah, it's good fun. It's nice to have such nice long straights to go on, and the S's are quite fun as well.
Okay.
I enjoy the S's, and Mineshaft is also quite thrilling to go through.
Yeah, it was a great race. I mean, obviously you can see we've got loads of cars here at Kyalami, which is fantastic. It's awesome to be able to support an event like this and do something a little bit different to our usual Lotus challenge. And yeah, it was a great race, good fun, and yeah, we had some lekker dices. The pace was good, and yeah, I just managed to grab a position on B5 and get a bit of a gap with me. But before that, myself and Graham were just neck and neck swapping positions. So yeah, it was a lekker dice.
Got to thank Sean. He lent me his tyres. We put new tyres on and it didn't quite work in qualifying. So we put a slightly older set of tyres on, and it definitely helped. Yeah, I had a lekker dice with Nick up front. Got a bit of interference from the Class B guys, but all in all, happy, thanks.
It was actually awesome. I qualified third on the grid, getting away. I couldn't get it into second, and a couple of guys came through, so it was a tough fight with Andre, and Barry was on our heels as well. And then there was a safety car, and Wesley actually broke down. That gave me the opportunity to stay with Tinas after the safety car, and Andre and Barry were keeping each other busy. So yeah, from there it was just keeping the pace. Luckily getting into the 9s first time for the weekend. Didn't think I was going to get there, but yeah, good race. Thanks.
First time 7 years since I've been here in Kyalami. 2 years later, awesome. Can't be happier. Bit of brake issues, but we'll get there. But awesome, brilliant. Tight racing, super intense but lovely.
You finished second, eh?
Finished second. A little bit fortunate with unfortunate Jeff broke a gearbox, I think, but yeah, but we were there, so could have gone either way.
Good stuff.
Thank you.
So race 1, not exactly my best race at Kyalami so far. Actually, I lied. That was my best race. My previous race I broke on the first lap, so I made sort of 2.5 laps, and then lost it in the S's and just straight into a barrier. Thought I might slow down enough and not hit the barrier, but no, straight into the barrier. At least the radiator's broken, looks like the suspension's bent, so it's going to be a bit of a fix.
A long night.
A long night indeed.
Good. As long as you're okay?
I'm all good.
Good stuff.
Yeah, it was a lucky race. Got a good start. Leading for a lap. Then I threw it away a bit, but yeah, overall I'm happy. Pace is not bad, but yeah, hopefully tomorrow we can fight a bit for the lead.
Wonderful to hear from the drivers, and it's just absolutely fantastic to be at such a prestigious racetrack for the end of the year. A lovely little bonus, and you can just hear how much this place means to everyone involved and how absolutely thrilled we are to be racing at such a historic track. Of course, before the next race, there is lots to do, and you can see the work in the garage, in the pits, is absolutely going along smoothly, and not so smoothly for some of these drivers trying to get ready for race 2. We saw a few drivers having incidents, a few drivers pulling off due to mechanical maladies, so hopefully everybody can get back in and get involved once more. But it's phenomenal to see everybody jumping in and getting involved. The AA guys providing some much needed assistance up and down the pit lane. Fantastic to have them here with such a wealth of experience, knowledge and passion for anything automotive and of course racing. But before you know it, we are back. It is Saturday morning, bright and early, and Lotus Challenge has once again lined up to provide you, me, and everybody at Kyalami with a incredibly exciting race. We are looking forward to this, as I say, very, very early in the morning, 8 o'clock. Let's go racing. Lights out on board with Jean Detoy and getting a great start. You can see Nick Hodgson once again not getting the best start, and nor does Graham Hepburn. Jean absolutely flies past Graham. Wesley Maxwell, though, you can see storming ahead, having a problem in the first race. Wesley is keen to make up for it in race 2. Jean now having, Jean getting overtaken there by Davide Favo into turn 2. Andre Duplessis, his nemesis from race 1, just ahead, and Jean now slotting nicely into the mid-pack and looking ahead. We can see Grant Fridge Findlay all over the back of David Jeremy. Remember, David had a torrid time yesterday, looking to immediately get back into the race. And speaking, Graham Hepburn not letting the poor start get him down, and right back past John and looking to challenge Davide as we go into sunset. Looks like we've got a slow Adlam car again, and both Davide and Graham absolutely taking no prisoners and making a position up for both of them, as we see Jean trying to do the same. Into the braking zone we go. It looks like Davide has unfortunately been overtaken by Graham, who slides up the inside. We saw yesterday Graham making use of that move multiple times. Davide having none of it, though, trying to go up the inside of the S's. That is very brave. We saw two drivers coming off there yesterday, and Davide is trying his best. Oh, looks like he might have missed a gear. I think he's missed a gear, and that's brought Jean Detoy into the mix. Immediately, Jean trying to go around the outside at the top of the hill. We have to see how that turns out. It looks like David Jeremy is back to the front of Class B just like that. It's taken him less than a lap and already made a move on JP Nokia. David is really absolutely out for blood today, having not made the most of his opportunity yesterday with that mechanical problem. David is now all over the back of Andre Human. You can see Jeff Gable once more out in the front of the race. Yesterday Jeff did not have things all his own way. I wonder if it's going to be the same in race 2 on Saturday morning. David is now in third place going into the last corner, looking for a good slipstream now down the start-finish straight. We'll cut back to see that later on, I'm sure. Barry Dunford, though, up the inside of Tennis Portis, a lovely little move there at the bottom of the mine shaft, and is now looking to try and attack Nick Hodgson up ahead. Barry doing phenomenally well. It looks like he's in third position in Class L at the moment. Back with Davide Favo, though, you can see this gaggle of Class L cars is just exactly what we expect from Lotus Challenge Class L. Oh, has somebody got a problem? That looks like Graham Hepburn. It does look like Graham Hepburn. I wonder if he's missed a gear or something. But Davide and Jean and everybody else flying past. Speaking of David, Jeremy, Jeff Gable, Andre Human, 3 wide into turn 2 at Kyalami. This is absolutely phenomenal stuff. David trying to go around the outside, didn't quite work. Andre backed out slightly into the corner, but has really capitalized and is all over the back of Jeff Gable. Has David got another problem? What's going on? It looks like it looks like JP Nokia has just flown straight past him. Maybe, I'm hoping he's just missed a gear or something, because that was very unusual to see from David. Barry Dunford now all over the back of Tennis Bortus, looking to try and use that slipstream and stay in touch with Nick Hodgson at the front of Class L. However, we are back on board with David Jeremy. You can see Fridge Finley absolutely flying past David. David must have some sort of an issue, because look how slowly he is going, and drivers are just absolutely streaming past him right now. And we can see there Wesley Maxwell, head of Class L, once again being attacked by Class B, going straight past Nick Hodgson up the inside. Wow. Okay, that's a great move. Oh, and now, not content with just taking one position, Nick looks like he's going to be attacking ahead, and he does slide straight up the inside and makes absolute mincemeat of that yellow Class B. Andre Human now all over the back of Jeff Gable once more. This really is battle resumed from yesterday. Andre Human trying to squeeze Jeff, getting very sideways. Look at how much wheel input Andre is having to give onto his Adlam Auto Class B. Nick Hodgson flying straight past David Jeremy. Once again, David must have a very, very serious problem to be going this slowly, just trying to limp back to the pits. Unfortunately, it has been somewhat of a disastrous Kyalami for David, but make no mistake, he is going to be back next year, and as our Class B champion for 2024, you can be sure that he is going to have his ducks in a row for the start of the 2025 season in order to defend that title. Barry Dunford now, speaking of defending, he's got Jean de Toy all in front of him, and as we know, Jean typically has the widest Lotus in Lotus challenge, so it's going to be very interesting to see if Barry can make a move on Jean. Jean, having come through, looks to be in third place now in Class L as it stands, and Jean looking to attack Tennis Bortus ahead. You can see ahead of that, it looks to be Wesley Maxwell. I think it looks like Nick has just managed to break the toe of this gaggle of cars, so possibly he might look to check out now. That's certainly going to be his plan, I can guarantee that. Barry Dunford, however, has other plans in mind. Look at that slipstream pulling to the inside, just showing his nose. Is he going to make a move on Jean? This is going to be coming from very far back. Wow, that is incredible. I thought for sure Barry was going to be locking up there, but incredible control on those brakes as we see Andre Duplessis behind, trying to make the most of any little opportunity that he can. Davide Favo now we are on board with, and getting lovely slipstream from Andre Duplessis going through Sunset. Though it looks like Andre's got a much better line than Davide, as Davide definitely loses some ground to Andre there. That's Tennis at the top of the hill. That's Tennis having a problem. I wonder if his brakes have failed or something, if he's missed his braking marker. Possibly Wesley psyched him out there. I'm not sure, but either way, Tennis finds himself in the gravel trap, and Wesley scampers away. Andre Human now looking to make a move on Jeff as we come to the top of the hill. What's Jeff gonna do? Take his usual defensive line at the top of the hill that he's used to such great effect, but you would have thought that the slipstream would be enough for Andre to get back into the action. But Barry Dunford now in Class L, once again in the absolute thick of the action. Fantastic to see Barry having such a strong race at the moment, currently in fourth, and you can see third and second just up the road there. Wesley trying to check out a little bit, and certainly this battle between Jean and Barry is going to be helping Wes. He's going to be very, very pleased with the way things are going here. But Jean once again making his car extremely wide through the S's, nothing doing. You can see Barry's on a pretty hot lap now with under his Delta. And Davide Favo right now just falling a little bit back from Andre, and there comes Graham Hepburn. That's possibly the reason why, having to defend against Graham, a man who has a wealth of driving experience, a lot of success under his belt as well, and has come into Lotus Challenge and absolutely shown us immediately what he can do, and having a fantastic Kyalami event despite having a bit of a blups at the start of this second race. I'm sure Graham is going to find a way to work his way through the pack. Let's see now what Andre Human can do. going side by side with Jeff Gable, sussing each other out as we go into the braking zone of turn 2. Is Andre going to do a little bit of a switcheroo on Jeff? He's certainly trying that. Jeff runs out wide, different lines of course through turn 2. There's not one single perfect line through turn 2, and that's why you can see these drivers trying different things to try and psych out their opponent and get whatever possible advantage they can. On board with Davide, you can see Class L going 3 wide into turn 2. That's phenomenal stuff. And Graham Hepburn gets another position, makes a move on Andre Duplessis, and is looking now to attack Barry Dunford up ahead. Davide trying to slide through Clubhouse and get a good drive onto this mini straight, which is actually quite long, so he will get a great slipstream on Andre there. But cutting once more to the front of Class B, it really looks to be a 2-horse race today. Yesterday we saw the four top horsemen trying to come out on top, but today it looks to be a battle between Jeff and Andre. You can see just how hard that suspension on Jeff Gable's car is working through the S's, bouncing around, but Jeff is absolutely a taskmaster of the defensive line here at Kyalami. He's certainly had a lot of success in the past, and he's showing why. Jeff is absolutely on fire today in Class B of Lotus Challenge. And speaking of on fire, Graham Hepburn sliding up his favorite little overtaking spot. I hope everybody is paying attention, because that is certainly... Oh, we got 2 wide. We have 2 wide through the S's. Andre Duplessis making an opportunistic move on Barry Dunford, having just been overtaken by Graham, and now Davide sliding through as well. That is how close the racing is in Lotus Challenge and in Class L. If you make just one tiny little mistake and get compromised, that's it. You're going to lose not 1, not 2, but 3 positions. It is absolutely that close. And Barry Dunford now has to regroup. Speaking of regrouping though, Davide is not letting Andre rest on his laurels after making that move. Davide going up the inside at the bottom of the mine shaft. Again, a corner where it does feel like there are a couple of different lines to take. Davide taking the shorter but more compromised line on the exit. Are they going to go through side by side? Not quite through the sweep. Side by side, that would have been over the line of brave, I would have thought. And looking to line himself up now for the long straight is Davide, but getting quite squirrely on the exit. We'll have to see if that ends up working for him. Jean de Toy though is all in the slipstream of Graham Hepburn, pulls out side by side. This should be a good move done if they both get their braking points right. Oh, you can see Jean locking up, and that's just allowed him to squeak ahead of Graham. But meanwhile, Davide is all over the back of Andre Duplessis, not quite managing to use that slipstream, but going side by side. Oh, and he spun. Davide has spun, almost taking out Andre Duplessis. That was incredibly close. And Jean de Toy now has to slot in behind Graham Hepburn, just up ahead. These 2 drivers oblivious to the spin behind them. But as we can see, just a little bit of a replay, Davide is all over the back of Andre Duplessis and just trying to get an inside line. Doesn't quite work, and unfortunately that's a spin. That's not where you want to end up. And Davide now has to recover his car, gets back on track, gets going safely, thank goodness, because that's certainly a blind corner coming out of it anyway. Back at the front though of Class B, and we have Andre Human now going side by side with Jeff Gable through Sunset. That's a fantastic move from Andre Human. Jeff not letting him have this victory so easily though. Side by side, look how close these guys are. Jeff just absolutely storming back through. A really tight battle between these 2 guys. No quarter given or asked whatsoever. And through the S's, Andre Human's got a much better drive up the hill. Is he going to be able to get ahead of Jeff before the braking zone? No, he's not. Jeff much braver into the braking zone at the top of the hill. This little left-hander that can be so tricky to come out of. And once more, Jeff manages to slot into provisional first. Barry Dunford now is all over the back of Tennis Portis again, going up the inside. and making a move stick at the bottom of mine shaft. We'll have to see if Tennis comes back to him along the long straight, down the start-finish straight, I should say. Davide Favo now on a recovery drive after that unfortunate spin, trying to overtake Andre Duplessis, but he's now all over the back of Ben Knights. Ben going defensive early. Davide saying, you can try to go defensive here, bud, but I am absolutely coming through, and they will be going side by side through the mine shaft. Andre Human now trying to go side by side with Jeff Gable once again. A little bit of mind games going on. You can see these drivers just trying to suss each other out. Which way are you going? Which way am I going? I'm going to go inside, you go outside. No, I'll go the other way around. And now it's Andre Human trying to line himself up with Jeff. Remember, we saw on the previous lap, Andre was able to get a fantastic run through Sunset and make a move on Jeff, but Jeff came straight back at him. We'll have to see if that happens again. Barry Dunford now, unfortunately, unable to fight the power that is the Toyota-powered Class B of Tinus Bottas ahead, and looks to line himself up once more for another overtake. Davide Favo working his way back through the pack once more. Is he going to go up the inside at the bottom of the mine shaft? Are these guys going side by side once more? Davide does seem to quite like that narrower line at the bottom of the mine shaft, but it does seem to compromise his exit, although he has been trying to attack a lot of drivers this race, so possibly due to that, he's always ended up using the inside line. Onto the start-finish straight they go, and we'll have to see how Davide's recovery drive goes. Getting a much better exit, but the power of that B class just absolutely monsters the Class L down the straight. And once more we got Andre Human all over the back of Jeff Gable, trying not to give him another love tap that we saw. I think it was David Jeremy giving Jeff Gable a bit of a love tap when the safety car incident of race 1 happened. No such incidents currently in race 2 on Saturday morning, but once again Andre Human just gets such a good exit out of the S's. He really does. He's absolutely got the measure of Jeff. No problem there, but it's just not quite the overtaking opportunity that he's looking for. Davide Favo now battling once again with Ben Knights and looking to retain that position. Looks like he's got it done for the moment, but once again entering into battle now with one of our fellow Lotus racers from Durban, shaking his head, unhappy with his exit from Clubhouse, and down we go into Sunset. Has he got Ben Knights on his inside? He might do, looks like there's space there, and I'm sure there is a Ben Knights shaped Lotus Class L right alongside him. Barry Dunford now. Oh, we have a spinner. That's Tinus Bottas spun out in exactly the same place that Davide Favo did. Yesterday we had drivers spinning in the S's. Today we have drivers spinning on the exit of Clubhouse. This is Taste the Cock now, looking to attack Tim Venn up ahead. But hang on, something's gone wrong. Something's gone wrong for Taste, and he's pulled off. There's a big problem with that car, unfortunately. I wonder if he's lost drive, lost gearbox, lost something like that. And that is Taste's race done and dusted. It looks like, though, Andre Human comes across the line, and that is the end of the race for the top runners of Class B, but we still have yet to see the end of the race for everybody else. We're on board now with Tom Faulkner. We haven't seen too much from Tom in race 2. He's been towards the head of the mid-pack of Class B, that's for certain. That looks like Fridge Findlay ahead of him, and is something okay? Tom coming across the start finish. Oh my goodness, what has happened there? Sparks, flames, smoke, the whole works as Tom's car lets go at the back right. Oh my goodness, the fender's going to come off. There is a serious problem there with that Nash built Lotus Challenge Class B car, and Tom sensibly just lets the car slow down and pulls off to the side, cutting power to the car. That is definitely a very broken race car, but luckily Tom did manage to finish the race. Nick Hodgson now, Class L, comes across the finish line. First position for Nick again in Class L for Kyalami. Fantastic racing early on a Saturday morning for everybody involved. Unfortunately, Taste, there you can see, pulled off to the side, but that is us done and dusted for race 2. And let's have a look at the results. Class B, we've got Jeff Gable, Andre Human, and JP Lukia again making up first, second, and third, with Nick Hodgson, Wesley Maxwell, and Graham Hepburn in Class L. Let's hear from the
Morning
drivers.
runs, done for the day. Car was alright. Yeah, overall a good weekend. Didn't break gearboxes or engines or lose any wheels. So now on to 2025. Hopefully we can be a bit more competitive.
Good
Challenge
stuff.
for wins.
Good stuff.
Thanks.
Thanks, JP. How's it, Andre?
Intense. Awesome.
How was race 2?
Amazing. amazing. Gave it all, couldn't get more. Lost some brakes at the end, unfortunately, but I'll take it. Second place, gave Jeff a run for his money. Good day on the track.
Done and dusted, the car made it. It went very well. I think it was a good race. I had a good start. I think I was in first for about a lap and a half, and then Mick came swimming past. And then I kept it consistent and finished second. So back a day.
Congrats,
Just glad
dude.
the car made it.
Congrats.
Yes! Thank you!
Yeah, today went well. I think the track to me felt a bit slower than yesterday. I felt like I was struggling for grip, but maybe my tires are just absolutely shot now. I don't know. But yeah, like I struggled off the start, like I usually do. Myself and Wes were having a great dice with our Natal friends as well. Luckily Wes made a small mistake, and I was able to double capitalize and take the lead there. And then just pull a gap, and then just work on being consistent, and managed to bring it home.
Good stuff.
Very
Congrats,
happy
dude.
about. Thank you.
Much happier. Yeah, it gave me that little bit extra. The drive was much better down the straights. So cornering, this thing corners so nicely. It's one of my best handling cars that I can think about. Just lacking a little bit straight. We'll make up next year. New season, new life.
It was, how do you explain it without using foul language, but it was epic. It was awesome. Racing Kyalami, up with the guys, maintaining the pace this session. So it was actually an exciting, exhilarating race. I'm a bit buggered now, but I think I finished sixth for the race. Don't know where I finished overall, but what an awesome track. What an awesome day.
Jeff, congratulations on first place at Kyalami. How was your race?
Busy, right? If you see the video, only the last lap, the very last lap, I had a little bit of a gap, and I was such in a zone from covering the corners, compromising my line to keep them behind me. On the last lap, I genuinely had to think, going into turn 2, should I even take the racing line? I haven't practiced that since yesterday. But yeah, quick final lap, amazing racing. At one point down through the kink in 1, through 2, I had Andre on the inside of me, about even. I had Dave maybe half a nose cone ahead on the outside, and I was thinking this is going to be crazy come the braking zone. Really superb. Shame Dave popped a motor. Excellent racing from JP. Superb, close, hard fought racing with Andre. The sort of racing that we have in Lotus all the time, and the sort of racing you can do when you're really confident of the people around you for super close, super hard, very fair racing. Amazing day.
Awesome. Congrats, Jeff. Thank you.
Thank you.
Action.
Yeah, so it's been a wonderful weekend. I mean, a bit hot, but that's better than freezing and cold and windy and wet. Really good weekend. I didn't manage to get to practice, so I only had yesterday and today, but it's just been awesome. So good to be back here. It really is a world-class track. A lot of fun, getting faster a little bit. The other guys are next level, but we keep trying. So much fun. Had a good dice in the last race, swapping places and so forth. And yeah, this track is truly magnificent. So awesome time. So thrilled and honoured to be here.
Good stuff. Congrats, Ben. Nice.
So that's us. What a phenomenal race at Kyalami. What a way to end the year. Yes, it wasn't a championship event, but it was absolutely the icing on the cake of what's been a cracking 2024 for Lotus Challenge. So join us next year, 2025. We'll be kicking off at the very beginning of February. 7th of February, we will be racing at Red Star Raceway. So join us once again for a fantastic racing, the best bang for buck you can get in South Africa. Join us then, and we will see you soon.
I'm a racing guy. Oh, well, that will be the second issue.